There's a few thoughts and first impressions on the Apple Vision Pro, now that it's come out and I've had it for a couple of hours. So yeah, I have a few things to say. First of all, the fit. It's pretty snug. I like this little crown thing. It really puts it close to your face. And so far, I feel like I can move rather comfortably with it. I noticed that I could actually stay with it on for a long time once I started to share my screen or mirror my screen from my Mac into the Apple Vision Pro in order to like blow up the screen, and I found myself like chatting, browsing the web, tweeting, and I just didn't feel like I needed to take it off. And I spent like a good solid 30-45 minutes with it without, until I realized that I needed to stand up and do something, I don't know what, and I realized, hey, I've been actually working on the computer through the Apple Vision Pro for a while. That is so far like my favorite thing. I think I could find myself even being more productive as a result of it. One minor aspect that I think is going to get probably pretty annoying is the battery. It is obviously external. This is obviously the reason why it's not as heavy as I thought it would be. So that's a great thing, but you do have to find a way to carry like on your pocket or put it on the table. But it almost happened to me once already that I wanted to set up really quickly and I almost took the battery with me that was sitting on the table. It almost landed on the floor. So you have to just be mindful of the fact that the battery has to be either in your pocket or the table, but no sudden movements basically when you're having this big of a battery just outside. The onboarding process starts by capturing your hands both like this and like this, and then it has you looking at different dots to know where your eyes are looking, because that's how you select things. You literally just look at it, and that is absolute magic. The fact that you can just look at anything and just pinch to select it. I won't do it right now because I'm going to select things because I have it on right now. But the fact that you can look at things and pinch to select feels truly magical, and I don't even have to like use my hands like this. I can just leave them on my lap. It's like the most effortless way that I've had to interact with technology ever in my life. Every time you look at something, whether it's a small button, a link on a website, or just an app, when you look at it, it just comes right at you just a little bit, so you know it's inside. It's almost like if you had a mouse and you put the cursor on it, so you're ready to click, or in this case, you're ready to pinch. Another super impressive thing is just how things remain in space. Like you can grab 1, 2, 3 windows, you can put them however you want, you can walk away to the other side of your place, to a different room, and you can see them from afar, that they just remain there, however big or small. It's incredible how just it gives you that sense of like dimension and like physicality. The video experience, like you can just blow a screen just so massively, and with the fact that you can find yourself in some sort of desert or some sort of mountains to really block away all of the of your actual surroundings that you can otherwise see through the cameras. Like I'm looking at this camera right now, you can completely block out of all of that, just see a massive screen, and it's incredibly immersive. So that part is as impressive as I thought would be. Another super impressive thing, the mindfulness app. Now I had read some articles and some thoughts on how impressive the experience was and how immersive it was, but the mindfulness app, it is just absolutely incredible. I've had my difficult relationship with meditation on and off, but I could actually see myself meditating a whole lot more as a result of how immersive this experience is. It truly is enchanting. I don't know what other word to use. It's enchanting. The FaceTime experience, oh my God. I mean, of course, like it is super impressive to see and put a FaceTime window anywhere and just blow that person up. However, if you've seen some of the renderings and some of the photos, I'll see if I can include one here for you to see. I think one person on Twitter called it PS3 characters or PS2 characters. Basically, yes, it is very, very weird to see. I definitely don't feel like I look like myself. Now, let's talk about the pass-through, meaning the ability for me to see the outside world through the machine. It certainly looks like you're looking at a screen. It's almost like if you were looking at the world through the screen of your iPhone, but like everywhere you see. It's pretty crisp though. I mean, it's evident that you're not looking through a glass, but I mean, that being said, the quality is actually pretty remarkable. That is the one thing that I believe has allowed me to work on my Mac so comfortably while looking at the screen through the Apple Vision Pro. Now let's talk about the user interface and specifically the UX of what handling different windows really is like. So there's a couple of things that you're going to be able to do with any window. That is, look at the little circle, it becomes an X, you pinch, you close. You're going to look at a little line that allows you to just move the window and pin it wherever you want to. And when you look at a corner, that allows you to resize the window. That's it. So once you start to get used to looking always at a little circle and a little line of any screen that you see through the Apple Vision Pro, it becomes really easy to manipulate. So far, the sound is pretty good. It's coming from right here, so it's pretty close to your ear. Calls were fine. I started playing a Peggy Goo concert on Apple TV Plus. The sound was great there too. I started playing YouTube through Safari. There's no YouTube app yet, but YouTube through Safari works just fine. It also have the equivalent of like Touch ID or Face ID with optical ID. Basically, it's trying to read into your eye for security purposes, for buying apps, for purchasing with your Apple Wallet. The promise that I always wanted from technology to literally just scan my eye and pay for things, I guess it's closer now than ever. Another point on the fit, it fits fine. This is a size medium, but I can see a little bit of the outside wall just kind of creeping in here, especially because I'm in a well-lit place. I would imagine that if I switch all the lights off and I'm watching a movie or something like that, that is not going to be as noticeable. But if I look down, I can see the real world just peeking through the bottom, and I cannot find a way to really make it knock to my face, but it's fine. I mean, I'm not really usually paying attention. I'm actually looking for that little hole at the bottom. So not as noticeable when you're in pass-through mode, but a little bit more noticeable when you're in more of an immersive mode. One thing that is not news for anyone is just how expensive this device is. So of course that's going to be prohibitive in so many different ways to many people. It almost reminds me of the first iPhone that came out at a price of $700, almost $800 as an AT&T exclusive in the US. And it wasn't really until it became like $350 or so when people really started to think of it as other than just an experiment or a toy from Apple. I think this is very much the same way, but I do foresee this type of what they're calling spatial computing becoming more and more prevalent because the experience is absolutely amazing. Of course, there's little ergonomic things to worry about, like the battery and the actual battery life, but I would say that this is the beginning of something extremely special. Now, as easy as it is to look at different apps and different parts of a website, for example, and look at them and pinch to select, the keyboard is it's a bit of a different story. Yes, you are in fact able to look at a keyboard and every single letter. Once you look at it, you pinch to select it, to type it, and then you can type whatever you want. It does take a long time to do that though. So another thing you can do is just actually, while you're looking at the keyboard, you can actually push your finger into the actual letter of the keyboard and almost use it as a physical keyboard. But that has taken me the longest to get used to. There's a certain finesse that you have to use the keyboard kind of in the air in that way. So once you get used to like how much effort or how much strength you need to put on the keyboard itself, then it becomes a little faster. But getting used to the adequate way to type on that keyboard that's floating in the air, that one takes a little bit of time because you can almost like poke through it. So you need to learn how far you need to go before you push the button, the letter, and then you go back. That one is going to take a little while. So far, I have found myself, even though it takes a little longer, that it is a bit more comfortable to look at every single letter and pinch, look and pinch, look and pinch. But once I get a hold or a better hold of how the keyboard works in the air when I actually push the buttons with my hand, I hope that that's going to allow me to type in a little faster. There are times where, you're going to realize that typing in any type of information, whether it's a URL or something in notes or anything, or even like a password for something, for example, it's going to take you a little longer than you otherwise thought it could take. Right, these are some of my just first impressions. I'm sure there's more to say, more to explore with this amazing device, but these are some of the things that I thought would be worth sharing with anybody who's curious and interested about the Apple Vision Pro. So if you have any questions about what it is like, or perhaps anything that I didn't address, leave it in the comments, and I'll be happy to address your questions. And of course, I'll be posting more thoughts on it as I go.